The voices he couldn't silence. When Daniel was 19, he fell in love for the first time. At least, he thought it was love. She smiled at him, listened to his dreams, and made him feel seen in a way no one ever had. What began as innocent conversations soon became something deeper. Boundaries disappeared, convictions faded, and one night, Daniel crossed a line he once promised God he would never cross. Months later, the relationship ended. He cried, deleted her pictures, blocked her number, and convinced himself it was over. Part B. But it wasn't. Years passed. Different faces entered his life. Different relationships. Different mistakes. Each time he gave away another piece of himself, believing he could simply move on when it ended. Yet something strange began happening. He could never find peace. At night, he would stare at the ceiling, exhausted but unable to rest. His prayers felt empty. Worship songs no longer touched his heart. He smiled in public but carried a heaviness he could not explain. Part C. Then came the dreams. Faces from his past appeared one after another. Voices whispered old accusations. You'll never change. You're too far gone. God is tired of you. Daniel woke up sweating. Again and again. One evening, unable to bear the torment any longer, he walked into an old church that was nearly empty. An elderly pastor sat alone near the altar. Without knowing why, Daniel sat beside him and began to cry. For almost an hour, he poured out everything. Part C. Then came the dreams. Faces from his past appeared one after another. Voices whispered old accusations. You'll never change. You're too far gone. God is tired of you. Daniel woke up sweating. Again and again. One evening, unable to bear the torment any longer, he walked into an old church that was nearly empty. An elderly pastor sat alone near the altar. Without knowing why, Daniel sat beside him and began to cry. For almost an hour, he poured out everything. The failed relationships, the secret addictions, the guilt, the shame, the loneliness. When he finally finished, the old pastor looked at him and asked one question. Son, how long have you been carrying what God already paid for? Daniel froze. The pastor opened his Bible and read, Come now, and let us reason together, saith the Lord. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. For the first time in years, Daniel understood. He had spent years running from God, while God had never stopped waiting for him. The tears became uncontrollable. Right there, at that altar, he stopped making excuses, stopped blaming others, stopped defending his sin, stopped pretending. And for the first time, he truly surrendered. The last part, not just his mistakes, his heart. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The nightmares began to disappear. The shame lost its voice. The chains that once felt permanent started falling away one by one. The peace he had searched for in people was found in the presence of Jesus. Years later, Daniel would often tell his testimony, and every time he did, he ended with the same words. Sin promised me freedom and gave me chains. Jesus asked for my surrender and gave me freedom.